Hey sports fans, Coach Nick here and welcome to BBallBreakdown. Last night's Thunder vs. Lakers game was nothing short of wild, and nothing was crazier than the final 5 minutes. Before I break down the stretch run, I want to remind you of our friends over at SeatGeek, who have the best app to buy tickets to sporting events and concerts. It's really easy to use, gives you a picture from the vantage point of the seat, and finds the best prices online. Make me look good by using my code BBall and you can get $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek is really the only place you need to look for tickets. And now, let me take you into the ring for the 12th round of this knockout fight between Russell Westbrook and Nick Young. With a 10-point lead and a little over 5 minutes left, Coach Walton has Brandon Ingram bring the ball up as the point guard, where they run horns with a double ball screen. Ingram seems to favor going to his left, and watch how quickly he's able to go from a dribble to firing a pass to Nance, who popped out. Now watch the poor footwork by Sabonis, whose right foot should have planted much higher in the direction of Nance and slowed him down enough that Nance got daylight and hit a rare outside shot. The Thunder went to a very basic offense down the stretch, the 1-5 pick and roll. Mozgov decides to sink way down in the paint to protect the rim, and this would normally be a no-brainer for us, a pull-up from 15 feet where he's deadly. Instead, he screeches to a halt, drags his pivot foot, then resets back to the top. What looked to be another pick and roll turns into a long three-pointer. At this point, he was 8 for 20 from the field and 0 for 3 from three-point land, so I'd imagine Walton was happy to give up this shot. But it's wide open, in good rhythm, and Russ nails it to begin the comeback. Same play for Ingram, and he chooses the left side again. This time, instead of a quick pass to the top, Ingram has to take an extra dribble, allowing time for Sabonis to get back. On the handoff into pick and roll, I like how Russ is forcing him back to the sideline, but Sabonis cannot let him turn the corner here. Once he's running alongside Clarkson, the play is over. Adams is slow rotating to help, and I like the 2-foot jump with power to throw down the dunk. Same 1-5 spread pick and roll for OKC, and another opportunity to pull up for his best shot is turned down by Russ. But the switch has been made, and to take advantage of the mismatch, Russ rises up from the short corner 3 and nails another 3. The Lakers continue to run the same horns into pick and roll to the left side, and Ingram actually turns his body to the sideline before throwing the pass, negating the advantage they had with the Sabonis hedge. Poor footwork, or maybe Mozgov hit his foot, but Sabonis goes down and Nance gets right to the rim. Great help by Adams, but the correct decision by Nance was to Lou Williams, whose man Oladipo foolishly helped off of. Instead, Nance goes cross-court, giving enough time to Russ to close out and bother the shot. The offense morphed into the let Russ run the show set, and he simply probes looking for an opening. They do try and screen for Adams before screening for Russ, known as a ram screen, but Nick Young does an excellent job to ice the screen and Mozgov sinks down to contain. Good defense on the shot, even better shot making by Russ off the glass. This time, the Lakers run a Princeton-esque set where Ingram reverses the ball, gets the back screen, then Mozgov sets the ball screen. This action forced Adams to step down to watch the cutter, so he's not in position to defend the pick and roll. Caught in no man's land, Lou gets going downhill, Morrow jumps in place, and they give up a layup. Another 1-5 spread pick and roll, and again, Russ rejects the wide open pull-up 15-footer, his best shot mind you, in order to get his shoulder into Mozgov and draw the foul. However, he ends up splitting these crucial free throws. There is an epidemic in slipping ball screens, and Nance doesn't even get close before trying to cut out of there. On the rescreen, Lovern doesn't know which way Oladipo is going to force the ball handler, and he chose unwisely. That said, he was great at recovering to contest, but Lou hits this ridiculously tough shot. Down by 9 and the clock ticking, it's imperative the Thunder get great shots every time down. The Lakers hustle to contain the step-up screen well, and Russ makes it seem like he'll reset the offense, but instead, because he's feeling it, he just hops into a quick-release 3 from the break with Nick Young in his face, and matches Lou with an equally crazy tough shot. The Lakers run a progression out of the Princeton set with a handoff into step-up screen. Adams plays it perfectly by hedging so Lou can't turn the corner, then gets back when Oladipo gets back in position. That leaves Lou with an isolation, and Oladipo says, "No soup for you, 1 week." On the out-of-bounds play, the Lakers run 2 off-ball screens, one to the strong side corner and the other a curl to the middle on the weak side. Both of these actions are defended well, and Lou doesn't have much time to throw up this fadeaway with Oladipo right in his grill. On the save by Laverne, Russ is in a hurry, and he takes 3 steps when Nick Young steps up for the steal, but no call. This was a nice move by Russ in the open court, a stutter step into a high ball crossover, but he takes off from behind the dotted line and has to shoot this softly on the way down. Too softly, in fact, and OKC comes up empty. The Lakers run a floppy set to try and get Clarkson coming off multiple pin downs. Good switch by Robertson and Westbrook to blow the action up, and they're left with very little time on the clock to get up a good shot. Notice how Laverne comes up higher to hedge and take away the pick and roll, and Nick is left to throw up a contested runner. Down by 6 and the clock approaching 2 minutes, it's again imperative to get a great shot here. Young lets Russ use the screen back to the middle, and yet again, instead of pulling up for his patented 15-footer off the dribble, he tries a 1-footed floater going to his left from about 14 feet out. It's woefully short, and the Thunder are in trouble. The Lakers try to recreate the step-up screen that got Clarkson a dunk earlier, but Laverne is in a good stance, moves well laterally, and Robertson gets back in the play. The better decision would have been to dump it to Nance while hanging in the air for a ferocious dunk, but instead, he goes for the shot and just misses. The Thunder run the same type of action for Russ, and still feeling it from his earlier 3-point bombs, rises up for the open 3 and nails it. Now the Lakers are reeling, having lost almost their entire lead, and they don't seem on the same page, as Nance can't figure out exactly when he's supposed to set the ball screen. With sets like these, there is nothing to go to if the initial action fails, so Clarkson is almost forced to toss it up, and this, sports fans, was a wasted possession. However, OKC doesn't make them pay when Russ comes down and jacks up a contested 3 with the express hope that perhaps Mozgov would foul him. There's no other way to describe this shot. It was just a terrible decision, especially since there was plenty of time left to attack the hoop and cut the lead. Now it was the Lakers' turn to ice this game. Under a minute left, they just need to get something going to the rim. They start to spread pick and roll a little late, and then Lou just tosses up this prayer as Oladipo closed on him when the better decision was to bounce it to Nance and let him get to the rim. Down 3 with about 3 possessions left, there is no need for a 3-point shot. I like how Young and Clarkson defended this. Nick faces up Russ to take away the pass, and Clarkson gets Oladipo before he can cut to the hoop. However, Nick gets out of position, Russ blows right by him, and the perfect play to bounce it to Adams when his man was forced to rotate over. The Lakers are now about to wet the bed if they can't get something going to the basket and give them separation. Another Nance-Williams pick and roll gets them a double team on Lou, but good pressure by Adams to take away the pass as well as rotation by Grant. They have a tiny mismatch down low, and the better decision after feeding the post would have been for Lou to cut right to the hoop since he had the slower-footed Adams on him. Instead, he stands there and Nance tries his best with a jump hook, but no joy. The Thunder need to go for the best shot they can get, and since they're down, don't want to run too much time off the clock. Another Russ-Adams pick and roll, and this time, Russ does pull up, but Luke did something sneaky. He took out Mozgov so the speedier Nance could defend this action, and it worked to perfection as Nance challenges this shot perfectly. The only problem was, no one else in the team is a rebounder, and Adams just steps right in and finishes the job. The only issue for OKC was that they scored so early, it gave the Lakers a chance to win the game at home with plenty of time. Strap yourselves in, folks, because this is a wild ride. I love the weave they run to get the defense out of position, but Lou breaks it off, Ingram drives, draws Oladipo to him, then kicks to Lou. But wait! Nick Young intercepts it, pulls up and nails the 3. It was pandemonium for a lot of reasons, so let's look at some details. First off, watch Nick Young slightly bobble the ball, but still, that's gotta be at least 3 steps, if not 4, before rising up to hit it. Now let's go back further. Russ is guarding Nick Young, and while he was in good position to start, watch how he just completely falls asleep and lets his man cut to the open spot and hit the shot. Some people thought Oladipo was at fault for the shot. Let's hear what he had to say.
Young hit that 3-pointer. It looked like you were the closest guy out to the perimeter.
Yeah, it was a little confusing. Seemed like I was guarding 3 people at one time, but...
That said, there was still a ton of time for the Thunder to tie it or win with a good look at a 3. Robertson starts out completely confused, out of frame in the backcourt, but he got with the program eventually. Adams is supposed to set a pin down for Russ, then open up to the ball for what I believe would have been a great blind pig action from the triangle offense. However, he doesn't set much of a screen, then cuts too early. Russ could have and should have cut down the middle for the ball. I cannot believe the play would have called for him to cut back to the left side where Oladipo is standing and Robertson is in the left corner. There is simply nowhere to go. Russ drew 2 defenders to him, an easy pass to Oladipo gets an open shot with enough time left, but instead, Russ heaves it up with no daylight, the shot misses, and the Lakers take the game. And let's all enjoy the homage Nick Young makes to his once estranged teammate D'Angelo Russell. This Lakers team is young, fun, and on the run.